was also reading online last night that the Addo elephants are the largest elephants in the world, and they've actually adapted because of the very thick bush here, so their tusks are much shorter but fatter than, say, the elephants that you get in the Kruger, which have huge tusks. And we're actually quite surprised how when we got to the Kruger, we only saw one warthog in the entire time we spent in the Kruger, and we were asking our guide in Tinswalo, and he said it's because warthogs are just easy prey for lions, and so because they've got so many more lions in the Kruger, they just get like decimated.
Elephants are right there. They're the babies, and we can also hear the jackals. Hey everyone, we're Hannah and Johnny, also known as Finding Our Adventure. In this epic series, we're tackling the wild and beautiful roads of South Africa. Our journey begins in Johannesburg before we explore the incredible Kruger National Park. From there, we cross the border into Eswatini and then towards Lesotho to take on the legendary Sani Pass. After crossing back into South Africa, we hit the stunning garden route before arriving in Cape Town 1 month later. So we've just driven about 2.5 hours and we've just arrived in Addo National Park. It's a lot busier than the Mountain Zebra National Park. We've come to Cattle Barren for lunch, and it's one of the places that we came to last time we were in South Africa, and we were like reminiscing on how good it was last time, and especially like the creamy spinach. We've ordered steaks, which is like what they're known for, and it comes with like chips or potatoes or rice. And yeah, it's really cool to be here. And then after this we're going to go check into the campsite. So we've just enjoyed a delicious lunch, come over to the campsite to find a spot, and they're all quite big spots. They're quite good size. We noticed that some of the facilities here are a little bit more dated than some of the other camps that we've stayed at, and it's fairly small here. There's maybe about 20 or so camper van pitches. But yeah, we're going to go out and do an afternoon game drive before we get back for the evening. I thought we'd make the most of it whilst we're here.
We are staying in Addo main camp, which we actually booked almost 3 months ago now because it's very popular here, so they do get booked up quite quick. So when we heard that, we got onto the San National Park's website to book it, and I think this was like the last date they had availability for, so we have been, this is the only time constraint we've had of the whole trip, is to get to Addo main camp for this specific date. So here on out after here we have no time pressures really, but we're so happy we're here because we've been to Addo before and we absolutely love it. And it's Addo Elephant National Park, so it's full of elephants. They do have predators like lions and stuff here, but they're a lot rarer, but we're here for the elephants. Here in Addo there are lots of dung beetles, so you'll see signs all over the place saying please don't run the dung beetles over, and the dung beetles are really good at clearing up all the elephant poo. And yeah, so if you drive through Addo you'll see lots and lots of dung beetles as you go.
I've just spotted a baby warthog, and it's making really cute little like squeak noises whilst it's going.
Because we've been to Addo before, we know that there's hundreds and hundreds of warthogs that run around here, and you see them all the time. They're very common to spot. And we're actually quite surprised how when we got to the Kruger, we only saw one warthog in the entire time we spent in the Kruger. And we were asking our guide in Tinswalo, and he said it's because warthogs are just easy prey for lions, and so because they've got so many more lions in the Kruger, they just get like decimated. Whereas here, because there's a lot less lions, the warthogs can thrive and they're just absolutely everywhere. But seeing babies is really cool because they're just normally quite hidden, I think.
They look like aliens. They've got like really big dark eyes, and they look really strange as babies, but they are very cute. We have got our first sighting of elephants.
There's a buffalo as well.
And buffalo and zebra, all by a watering hole. Oh, and there's a little baby one as well. It's a little family. One of the cool things about Addo Elephant Park is that once everybody leaves the park, if you're staying in the park, you can go to the elephant hide. So we're going to go and check that out now and see if we can spot anything. But we just saw a couple of elephants outside the camp.
If you're staying in main camp.
Oh yeah, if you're staying in main camp. And what did you think you heard?
Some jackals howling, I think. There was definitely something howling.
The sun has set, so the animals are going to be coming out.
One of the reasons we booked Addo main camp was because of the underground hide with the watering hole just there, and so we've just been in the hide and we've come out so we can talk, because you have to be quiet in the hide, as Hannah said. But it's so cool watching the elephants just drink and make noises and push each other around a little bit, and it'd be really cool. Fingers crossed if some lions came, but I don't think so. I think it's just going to be the elephants. But it's such a cool place. We've had such an amazing day. We've been able to see meerkats in Mount Zebra National Park, and then we've been able to see the elephants here, and also just having an amazing time watching all these incredible wild animals. Good morning everybody. We have just come into the interpretive centre this morning, and it's where you can learn all about the Addo elephants and the history here of the national park. And it's really sad because basically there was some farmers back in 1919 who would pressurise the government to kill all the elephants in the Addo areas to save their farms. And there was a guy called Pretorius who basically killed over 100 elephants in 2 years, and the remaining 16 elephants took shelter on a sympathetic farmer's land, which is now part of the park. So the poor elephants were just being literally exterminated, and they had to go seek shelter where a farmer would let them. And it's amazing to learn about all the elephants and how they've survived and how the park's been regenerated and how they've had such success over the years. So it's cool that it's all come back, but I can't imagine the absolute horror for those elephants just being hunted and killed non-stop. We've just been learning about how the elephants came to be and their ancestors and stuff, and what's really interesting is the Dassie and the Dugong are the closest living relatives to elephants today, which we find very strange, but I guess that's what they've got. But it's amazing seeing all the different history in here and how the elephants have had to survive. When I used to live in South Africa, I learnt a bit of one of the languages called Xhosa, so it's the one with the X at the beginning, so the X is the sound, and a lion in Xhosa is Ingonyamo, and the elephant is in Lovu. So that's how you say those names in Xhosa, which is pretty cool. I was also reading online last night that the Addo elephants are the largest elephants in the world, and they've actually adapted because of the very thick bush here, so their tusks are much shorter but fatter than, say, the elephants that you get in the Kruger, which have huge tusks. So it's really interesting how they get really big, I guess because the bush is so big and thick that they have to grow taller and bigger to be able to see over it, because it's so dense when you're driving around. But luckily for us, there is some grasslands that we were driving to yesterday where we could see the elephants a bit more. So I think the plan today is, once we leave camp, we're going to head down to the south, where last time we were here, we did see the lions on the hill quite far away, but hopefully we can see them, and there's also hyena and stuff down there as well, and I think that might be where the cheetah are as well.
We've just entered the game drive area, and compared to yesterday's drive, the road is completely covered in just twigs and branches and elephant poo everywhere. So they've come down here and shown lots of destruction along their path, but as we entered the gate there was an elephant literally right on the side of the gate, and there was a couple of tour groups there already, and they were all like, oh my goodness, an elephant. So we've decided to carry on because there's quite a few people stopped there, and we've been told that potentially there's lions on the Gora loop, and so we're going to head there and hopefully also see some elephants along the way. So this is the main game viewing area, and we entered the gate here and we're heading to this loop here. It also shows like the watering holes in blue, which is really useful because usually that's where you're going to find most of the animals. On our way to the loop, we've just stopped by a watering hole. Don't know if it's the Dom Crag Dam, but there's loads of elephants, a whole herd of them, maybe 10 or so, and there's a couple of little babies as well. As we've checked out of the campsite and we're now driving around the reserve, I thought it'd be worthwhile just saying a little bit about the facilities at the campsite. So the site itself is great, all the spots were pretty decent size and fairly private as well. I think it was definitely one of the toilets and the showers were one of the maybe the most dated and not as well kept as some of the other campsites in the national parks that we've stayed in. So I would say it lost a couple of points with that, but I think the rest of the facilities that you get here at Addo, so you've got the Cattle Bar and Restaurant, which is really good for food. You've got the hide for the elephants underground, which is really cool, and you can come and see the elephants at night time. There's also a really cool shop there. We were having a look this morning and seeing if we were going to be tempted by anything, but we didn't see anything there that we really wanted to get. But yeah, so I think in terms of the camp itself and the range of things that you can do here, it's really good. But yeah, the only thing is the toilets and the showers weren't great, and I was trying to fiddle with the temperature in the shower this morning, and it was either scalding hot or like lukewarm, maybe more on the cold side. So I mean, I don't mind it, but I think some people, we're kind of used to roughing it a little bit, so we don't mind as much, but compared to the others it wasn't as great. Good morning, Pumbas. We've made it onto the Gora loop, and this is where the lions were sighted at some point this morning. The last time we were in Addo Elephant Park, we actually did spot the lions, but they were like on a hill really far away and it was really difficult to see them. So if you do spot lions in Addo, it's like a trophy because they're really, really hard to spot. So if we see them this morning, we will be very, very lucky, because the main thing to see here obviously is elephants. We think we've just spotted a goshawk, and it was like sat on a branch and looks a pretty big bird. But we're now carrying on our quest to find the lions. No luck just yet, but yeah, this is going to actually be probably our last game drive on this trip, so hopefully it's a good one. Right, we're just making it to Carol's Rest now. There's a couple of cars parked by the watering hole, and we think, not 100% sure because it's still quite far away, but it looks like it could be a black rhino. And also, I think I maybe just spotted the lions.
No.
Yeah, just on the other side, no? Can't see them now because of the bushes.
Is it a rhino? Is it buffalo?
Oh, there's lots of kudu, which is what the lions like to eat. It wasn't a rhino, it was a buffalo and some piggies, and I thought that the lions that I saw were zebras. But there's not much else going on around this area. Apparently from now on is where the lions were spotted, so We are keeping our eyes peeled. I thought they were elephant turds.
Oh, that little one almost snapped.
Oh, cute. Oh, look how fluffy it is. The car in front of us has just slowly stopped and is looking to the right.
Oh, it's like a...
Oh, is it a little mongoose?
Yeah, I think it's like a mongoose ring.
Or a meerkat? Yellow mongoose?
No, it had a stripe on its tail.
Ooh. Maybe a ground squirrel.
Where are they?
You've gone past the sea.
No, I didn't see what it was. It had a white stripe on its ring on its tail.
Oh.
Could be some sort of mongoose. No idea.
Oh.
We've just got to this rest point, this viewpoint, where you can actually get out, and there's a sign right next to us saying "Beware of lions. Get out of your vehicle at your own risk." So
I'll stay in here.
hopefully there's some lions being tempted by lots of people walking around. I mean, there's only about 5 of us here, but that'd be cool, wouldn't it? No lions so far though, and I feel like this time of day now is when it's gonna be very difficult to spot them. No lions. So we're gonna head south then. There's one like literally on its back, rolling around now.
What have you spotted?
There's loads of dung beetles. Having the best time.
On a big pile of poo.
Yeah.
We've just spotted a big male elephant, and he has gone from one watering hole on one side of the road onto the other side. And it's so quiet. We've just stopped at the Marion-Bury watering hole, and there's a few elephants around there and they're drinking, and we were just saying how we could just spend hours just watching the ellies. They're just so lovely to watch. We've just got our first glimpse of the coastline, and we can see it looks like sand dunes on the horizon, and it just looks so inviting right now. We've not seen the ocean for a very long time, and we love to be by the sea, so this afternoon that's where we're heading. So we're going to spend a couple of days just relaxing on the beach. And if you haven't already watched our earlier episodes, because we've driven all the way from Johannesburg up to Kruger, through Eswatini and also through Lesotho. We've done an epic adventure. We've driven over 2,000 miles so far, and we're making our way to Cape Town. So go and check those other episodes out if you're interested in what those other national parks are like. We've made it to the southern gate in Addo National Park, and we are now leaving the park, which we're very sad about, but we've had an incredible time driving around and seeing lots of elephants and other animals as well. But we hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you haven't seen our other episodes of us exploring some of the other South African national parks, go check them out. But that's the end of this episode, so let us know in the comments what your favourite bit was, and don't forget to subscribe for future videos of this epic overlanding adventure. See you in the next one. Bye!